the crimson sky. Act high, the rivers lament. Dust descends over the city, painting it in crimson and gold. Skyscrapers stand like sentinels, reflected in the river's gentle current. I sit on the riverbank, my guitar cradled in my lap. The scent of damp earth and distant street food mingles in the evening breeze as the city hums its nightly tune. I strum my guitar, the first note smooth, but then a string snaps with a sharp twang, leaving a discordant echo. I stare at the broken string, feeling as unraveled as it, dreams deferred and paths untaken. Lord of mercy, I whisper, my voice lost among the rustling leaves. Why does everything I touch seem to fall apart? Show me my purpose, guide my hands. The river murmurs softly beside me, yet I hear no clear answer. I close my eyes, seeking solace in the rhythm of my breath, trying to listen beyond my doubts. Silence echoes within, yet I hold on, waiting for a sign as elusive as the evening mist. Street lamps flicker on, casting a soft glow. Footsteps crunch on the gravel path, and a stranger emerges. A young man with a humble smile, his eyes kind. He hums a tune that feels both familiar and foreign, weaving into the stillness, reviving a song buried in my heart. That song, he says, his voice warm, reminds me of hope. I hum it when the world feels heavy. The melody is ancient yet new, carrying history and yearning that transcends words. The simplicity of his presence is a balm to my spirit, with an unspoken understanding. He kneels next to me on the dew-kissed grass. Sometimes when we're lost, it's not the song that's wrong, it's the way we hear it. May I pray with you, prayer of renewal. Together we bow our heads amidst dusk's whispers. Shepherd of my soul, he prays, his words like rain on parched soil. Guide us through our doubts, may we walk with those who are heavy laden, sharing their burdens as you share ours. His prayer is soothing, filling the void left by despair. His sincerity opens a space within me, where vulnerability meets grace, a fragile faith almost forgotten. I see my snap string not as an end, but as a call to change, to adapt my song to the present, to the Holy One who hears even in silence. The river's murmur becomes a chorus, confirming I am not alone. We rise, my spirit lighter, I thank him, and he departs. Steps fading into the night, I watch, holding on to the light he brought into my soul. But not lonely, I retune my guitar, letting the remaining strings resonate. A raw and refined harmony full of promise. The music flows unbound by perfection, shaped by whispers and a stranger's prayer. Each note is a prayer, a dialogue with the Holy One, echoing with renewed promise. I understand now, my song is a journey, a path with those cast aside, the oppressed and forgotten, their stories intertwine with mine, each burdened yet bound by the same melody, by the river under the sky. I find sacred connection, a calling to listen, accompany and heal city. Lights twinkle like stars, a reminder of the divine in the mundane, the sacred in our journey. Holy One, your guidance is my light. Help me walk with those who suffer, to hear their silent cries and share their journey. May my life be a song of hope and healing, a testament to your love, amen. Confession in the desert dawn. Act I, journey of solemnity. Anna sat by the bus window, feeling the engines rumble, resonate with the brisk winter air. The landscape unfurled into endless dunes, each layered with frost like lace, mirroring her tangled emotions. Every exhaled breath clouded the glass, momentarily obscuring her view. The sun began its ascent, spilling gold rays across the horizon, promising a new day. Clutched close was a worn leather notebook, her innermost fears left unspoken, a diary marred with confessions of a heart seeking solace. With each mile deeper into the wilderness, the burden grew heavier. The bus jolted over a rough patch, pulling her back to the present. An older man beside her unscrewed a thermos, releasing chamomile's soothing scent mingling with the cold air. Tea? He offered, his eyes a mosaic of patience and wisdom. She accepted, letting its warmth seep through her fingers, a small comfort against her doubt. Act 2. Voices in the wilderness. As the bus moved beneath the desert sky, Anna's thoughts returned to the argument with her brother, a chasm unhealed, a silent weight. Their anger echoed in her mind, a wound unhealed. Lord of mercy, she whispered, eyes closed, leaning into the gentle rhythm. I am lost. Show me the way home. The man listened in silence, a calm presence, a lighthouse in her storm. He handed her a small Bible, a verse for the weary traveler. He said, his voice like soft gravel. Anna clutched it, thinking of Psalm 23. Though she felt far from God, a glimmer of hope ignited within, a path back to grace and reconciliation. Act 3, the courage to confess. As dawn grew stronger, the desert awakened, kissed by the sun's touch. Once stark, it now pulsed with life. Words rose within her, untangling with each breath. She turned to the man, her voice a prayer. How do I find the courage to confess? Prayer. He replied simply, his gaze steady, a beacon in her storm. Speak to the Lord as a friend. Let his love guide you. Anna closed her eyes, whispering, Holy One, grant me strength to make things right. Fill my heart with courage to confess. Her spirit, once reluctant, wrestled with resolve. She retrieved her phone, trembling as she messaged her brother, each word a step toward healing. A new light. The bus paused in a small town as morning unfurled into its full splendor. Her phone vibrated with her brother's message, I've missed you, soothing her aching heart. Tears of relief threatened to spill, the knot in her chest unraveling, replaced by determination and joy. She stepped off the bus, resolved to bridge the once insurmountable distance with love and forgiveness. Turning to thank the kind stranger, she found he had merged into the crowd, leaving behind the memory of his guidance and a sense that God had been guiding her all along. Lord of mercy, shepherd of my soul, lead me through the valleys of my own making. Grant me the courage to confess and the strength to forgive. Fill my heart with your boundless love, that I may walk ever closer to you. Amen. beneath the stars. Act I, restless in the rain. In the deepest night, the sacred bridge between today and tomorrow, I park my rig on a desolate stretch of interstate midnight, drape the world in a veil, the drizzle outside whispering secrets to the windshield. The gentle patter was a murmuring symphony, trails weaving intricate patterns on the glass, dissolving swiftly. The rest stop was an island of profound silence, occasionally interrupted by the faint hum of a vending machine, its mechanical lullaby standing as a lone marker amidst wilderness. Above, through cloud gaps, faint stars glimmered, a tapestry of light in the night. A flickering lamppost stood at the lot's edge, its glow casting long shadows, a reminder of the miles behind and the daunting stretch ahead. The rain echoed my unease, a tune of longing and regret resonating deep within. Here under heaven's expanse, a heaviness pressed upon me, a whisper of failure, a reminder of the pain I caused, those I cherished. Lord of mercy, I murmured, the words trembling and desperate. The request was a lifeline in my solitude. I clutched the steering wheel, every muscle tense, my knuckles white. I've lost my way, I cannot forgive myself for leaving her. Show me the path back to a heart. With eyes closed, I surrendered to the silence, letting it cocoon me. Fragments of Psalm 23 wove through my mind, an assurance that in this valley of shadow, I was not forsaken. Each verse a gentle whisper, reminding me of the shepherd beside us through every storm. Echoes of the past. A vivid memory emerged. A sunlit day, my daughter's laughter, a melody filling our home with joy, painting our lives with the colors of happiness. But time and distance stretched out before us, creating a chasm of absence, a void filled with unspoken words and missed opportunities. The guilt gnawed incessantly, a shadow at the edge of my mind, feeding on the silence between us. The rain continued its gentle descent. Each drop a reminder of time's relentless passage. I retrieved a small, well-worn photograph from the glove compartment. Her youthful face smiled back, radiating innocence and the promise of brighter days. The lamplight flickered over it, deepening the ache in my heart. Shadows casting a glow on her features, a reminder of undiminished love and unbroken bonds. Great Shepherd, I whispered, my voice trembling in the wind. Give me the courage to seek forgiveness, to mend what's broken. Guide me to become the father she needs, for I am weary and need your light. In the wake of my prayer, a quiet peace settled, a subtle unlock of the chains imprisoning my heart. It was warmth as gentle as a whispered promise, a divine suggestion woven into my thoughts. Call her. The call of faith, the rain softened to a drizzle, clouds parting to reveal stars bright and hopeful against the night. They winked knowingly, as if assuring hope entwined with every light against the darkness. My fingers hesitated over my phone, suddenly heavy with redemption's weight. Each ring in the cab echoed, a steady heartbeat in the stillness, each a drumbeat of hope. Dad. Her voice, tentative yet warm, cut through the silence, a balm to my wounded spirit. There was a melody in her voice, the same laughter that filled our home, now edged with forgiveness as grace. It's me, sweetheart. I began, emotions tangling in my throat, my voice hoarse with unshut tears. I've missed so much, and I'm sorry. I'm ready to put things right, to be here, truly here for you. A pause stretched across the miles, a breathless moment where time held its breath. The night holding its collective breath too. Then with grace filling every corner of my soul, she answered, I've missed you too, Dad. Let's start anew. Outside the rain ceased, leaving a world baptized anew. The air fresh with newness, stars above glittering with intensity, sharing our healing moment, whispering promises of rebirth. Oh yeah. You are the lamp unto my feet, guiding me through the night into the dawn. Thank you for the courage to seek forgiveness, and for the grace of second chances. May your light always illuminate our path. Amen. The crisp morning air nipped at my skin, while dawn painted the sky with hues of promise. The bakery was my refuge, where flour lay like soft snow on the worn wooden countertops. A place where dreams were as tangible as the dough beneath my fingers. Every morning I dusted flour with reverence, tracing holy scriptures in the sacred quiet before the world awoke. Here, amidst the comforter aroma of yeast and the warmth of ovens, my heart turned fully to God. As I shaped the dough, I prayed, Lord of mercy, let my hands mold hope into this bread. Let it nourish those who need it most. The kneading rhythm became prayer itself, each fold and stretch a petition for grace and strength, echoing my soul's deepest yearnings. Across the street stood another bakery, Amir's arrival by circumstance. Competition brewed quietly in our small community, each loaf a silent challenge. Our exchanges were few but meaningful, and not here a lifted brow, there gestures that spoke volumes of shared dreams and humble beginnings. Yet an unspoken respect lingered in our shattered glances. Tension peaked when a batch of my sourdough failed. The yeast rebelled, leaving nothing but a thick, stubborn slab. Distress clung like flour dust, whispering doubts in crisis. I prayed, shepherd of my soul, I am lost. Guide me as you would a prodigal son. Let me find your path now. Silence settled around me like a comforting cloak, lighting a flicker of hope in my heart, a gentle nudge beyond my worry. God's guidance led me across the street to Amir's door, his brows lifted in surprise, revealing curiosity and kindness. I held out the loaf. Amir, would you share your wisdom? I struggle with my bread. Amir's eyes softened, a smile welcoming me inside. The scent of his baking, cinnamon and anise swirled like whispers of home. Together we prayed, hands resting on the work table. Holy One, bless the bonds we forged today. May this shared moment weave peace between us. As we worked side by side, kneading struggles into new beginnings, I felt transformation in my soul. No longer rivals, but brothers in bread, touched by a simple act of grace. Each loaf rising was a testament to hope, the crust forming golden promises. The light beyond dawn fully broke upon my return, the sun's rays blessing the earth anew. The warmth filled me with peace, like meeting an old friend with new wisdom. Peace settled over me as flour dust always began my day. Each prayer, each piece of bread was a light forward, a beacon guiding unity and understanding. Amir and I continued to bake, sharing recipes and prayers, stories and dreams. Our rivalry forgotten, our bakeries thrived testament to the bond formed in prayer and breaking bread together. Divine Creator, thank you for the breaking of bread, nourishing body and soul. Guide us toward your light, walking in unity and peace through prayer. May your love illuminate our path. Amen. cacti, the bakery before dawn. At 4 a.m., in the gentle patter of rain, Samuel Alvarez moved like a shadow through his bakery, a warm sanctuary hidden from the slumbering world. The air was thick with dough rising, flowers settling like snow on every surface. The dim hum of the refrigerator was a soothing counterpoint to the pre-dawn stillness. Samuel's breaths formed clouds mingling into the darkness, a physical manifestation of whispered prayers. The bakery's lamp flickered, casting a honeyed glow over tables worn smooth by time. This was Samuel's haven, where labor became contemplation. Kneeling before the wooden counter, he bowed his head. His fingers, dusted with flour, clasped in earnest supplication. "Lord of mercy," he whispered, "I am afraid. Business is slow. Debts are high. Guide me, for I am lost." The silence was sacred as Samuel listened, hoping for divine guidance. The rain mirrored his uncertainty, yet an imperceptible reassurance settled within. "Do not fear. I am with you." This promise anchored him. Hours slipped by like sand, each marked by shaping dough, a practice like an offering. The bakery pulsed with life, the aroma of fresh bread inviting passers-by. Samuel shaped each loaf with care, imprinting silent prayers for the day. The dawn light bathed the bread in warmth, echoing the blessings he sought. Maria, the neighboring bakery owner and his fiercest competitor, appeared. Her bakery thrived while he struggled today. She entered soaked from the rain, worry etched in her face. Her presence was both a challenge and a reminder of professional solidarity. Samuel felt a nudge, a divine call for compassion. "Holy One," he prayed silently, "grant me courage to love." An unexpected offering. With a heart softened by prayer, Samuel offered Maria a basket of fresh bread. Steam rose gently, carrying hope and generosity. "Please," he said, "take some." Maria, surprised by his kindness, hesitated, yet Samuel's sincerity stirred something in her heart. Tears mingled with rain on her cheeks, glistening in the light, a testament to burdens eased by grace. "Thank you, Samuel," she whispered, acknowledging a bond forged through shared humanity. Amidst the exchange, peace settled over Samuel, as if God whispered hope into his soul. The moment was its own prayer, a testament to grace in action. Divine transformation. As the sun climbed, the bakery welcomed patrons' conversation, laughter, and shared moments flowed into Samuel's spirit like a balm. The day's hustle brought vigor. His heart lightened by sharing, customers lingered, drawn by the bread's aroma and the atmosphere of kindness. Maria returned that afternoon, offering her own loaf, a token of solidarity. She promised help with his debts, a lifeline woven from shared humanity. In giving, Samuel received more than he offered, a miracle breathing life into his venture. Together, they stood testament to faith and fellowship. Dear shepherd of my soul, thank you for strength in fear. May I find courage in your presence, see your hand in every grace. Surround me with Beneath the smoke-clouded sky, the fire's aftermath resembled a battlefield. Blackened beams and the scent of charred wood clinging to the air. Dust descended, painting the sky deep purple and crimson, as though the heavens mourned with the weary city. Firefighter Jake stood at the edge of what once was a home, his smoke-stained jacket a testament to the battle fought against the flames. His eyes lingered on the ashen remnants of a life spirited away by the blaze. Amidst the ruins, his gaze found a sodden scrap of paper, a child's drawing miraculously unharmed. A simple house, a family, stick figure smiling under a bright sun, embodying innocence lost amidst chaos. Jake's heart twisted with survivor's guilt. Kneeling, he reached out, fingers brushing over the uneven lines of the child's art, feeling a connection to a life untouched by darkness. His eyes closed against tears, seeking solace in a whispered prayer. Lord of mercy, guide me through this darkness. Lift this burden from my heart. Could I have done more? His words were swallowed by the silent night, a plea into the void, each breath a prayer in itself, yearning for peace. Night descended gently, wrapping the city in quiet, with rain veiling the streets, casting shadows in the glow of streetlights. Jake wandered through the neighborhood, each footstep a muted echo on the wet pavement, the rhythmic patter of rain, a reminder of cleansing and renewal. He carried the child's drawing in his pocket, a reminder of lost innocence. His mind replayed the blazes, chaotic dance, the symphony of despair, refusing to fade. Pulsing beneath the streetlight, rain mingling with his tears, his heart torn between despair and belief in a higher purpose. He prayed again, Holy One, what is your will for me? Teach me where to begin. The rain seemed to soften, acknowledging his plea with tender caresses. In the profound stillness, Jake felt a nudge, a whisper in his heart, as if God spoke through the rain. It wasn't in grand gestures that peace would be found, but in small acts of love. Begin with the neighbor, came the impression, a quiet certainty settling over him like a warm blanket. His spirit lifted, he turned his gaze to the houses lining the street. Windows glowed with warm light, families huddled together, connected by unseen threads of community. Jake's path led him to a doorstep where light spilled into the night, casting a gentle glow. He hesitated before knocking. The door creaked open, revealing a woman's weary face. Her eyes widened in recognition. I'm Jake, faltered but pressed on, buoyed by divine guidance. I'm here to help, whatever you need. The woman's eyes softened, a smile breaking through her hesitation. A flicker of hope kindled. We'd appreciate that we're gathering supplies for those displaced by the fire coming. As Jake stepped inside, he sensed welcome, the scent of baking bread mingling with rain-kissed air. Promising healing children played nearby, their laughter a balm, a melody of renewal amidst ashes here, amidst lives untouched by despair. He found the beginning of healing through service, through compassion flowing freely. In the days that followed, Jake worked tirelessly, hands and heart open to those in need. He joined in rebuilding not just homes but hopes, each nail driven a testament to resilience. Each act of kindness chipped away at the weight he carried, revealing a soul renewed, forgiven and free. He understood now he did not walk alone. The shepherd of his soul would guide him through the darkest valleys, ensuring light found its way into the shadows. Lord of all compassion, teach me to see with your eyes, to love with your heart, to serve with open hands. Lead me ever in your light. Healing.
confession in the desert dawn. Act I, journey of Falamity. Anna sat by the bus window, feeling the engine's rumble resonate with the brisk winter air. The landscape unfurled into endless dunes, each laid with frost like lace, mirroring her tangled emotions. Every exhaled breath clouded the glass, momentarily obscuring her view. The sun began its ascent, spilling gold rays across the horizon, promising a new day.
Clutch close was a worn leather notebook. Her innermost fears left unspoken. A diary marred with confessions of a heart seeking solace. With each mile deeper into the wilderness, the burden grew heavier. The bus jolted over a rough patch, pulling her back to the present. An older man beside her unscrolled a thermos, releasing chamomile, soothing scent, mingling with the cold air. Tea he offered, his eyes a mosaic of patience and wisdom. She accepted, letting its warmth seep through her fingers, a small comfort against her doubt.
Voices in the wilderness. As the bus moved beneath the desert sky, Anna's thoughts returned to the argument with her brother. A chasm unhealed, a silent weight. Their anger echoed in her mind, a wound unhealed.
Lord of mercy, she whispered, eyes closed, leaning into the gentle rhythm. I am lost, show me the way home. The man listened in silence, a calm presence, a lighthouse in her storm. He handed her a small Bible, a verse for the weary traveler, he said, his voice like soft gravel. Anna clutched it, thinking of Psalm 23. Though she felt far from God, a glimmer of hope ignited within, a path back to grace and reconciliation. The courage to confess as dawn grew stronger, the desert awakened, kissed by the sun's touch. Once dark, it now pulsed with life. Words rose within her, untangling with each breath. She turned to the man, her voice a prayer. How do I find the courage to confess?
Prayer, he replied simply, his gaze steady, a beacon in her storm. Speak to the Lord as a friend, let his love guide you.
Anna closed her eyes, whispering, Holy One, grant me strength to make things right. Fill my heart with courage to confess. Her spirit, once reluctant, wrestled with resolve. She retrieved her phone, trembling as she messaged her brother, each word a step toward healing.
A new light. The bus paused in a small town as morning unfurled into its full splendor. Her phone vibrated with her brother's message, I've missed you, soothing her aching heart. Tears of relief threatened to spill, the knot in her chest unraveling. Replaced by determination and joy, she stepped off the bus, resolved to bridge the once insurmountable distance with love and forgiveness. Turning to thank the kind stranger, she she found he had merged into the crowd, leaving behind the memory of his guidance and a sense that God had been guiding her all along. Lord of mercy, shepherd of my soul, lead me through the valleys of my own making. Grant me the courage to confess and the strength to forgive. Fill my heart with your boundless love, that I may walk ever closer to you. Amen.
you.